Here's everything. Starting with the squid fossils and small things leading into the shark teeth and more squid fossils. As for exclusively our shark teeth, this is what we've got so far. And yes, again, the organization could be a lot better. You've got your small teeth, medium teeth, continued medium teeth. These are the more choice cuts, less damage on them. These are the really nice ones that I'm gotten the waiting queue for being polished. And these are the polished ones, but I'll get to that later because right now I can show you more so. The small species are hard to dig out. This is kind of my go-to for identifying, where you have your nice little mackerel shark. You've got your classic goblin sharks right here. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that color. And that's something, you can see the lines in there. Really nice. Really nice. Love that. So the goblin sharks are kind of just all over the place in our collection, from all different colors to different sizes. We've got all sorts of, where are they? And here we have all of our shark teeth. They need to be contained just a little better. But you can see we've got the small ones with the small ones, mediums with the mediums, and so on and so forth. You could especially see, just from looking at the piles, our various goblin shark teeth, which now you get a much better view. Look at that. Very distinct Y shape, even. See how pointy? They got a nice little curve to them. And then the gums are always like bunny ears. Where's that other good example? Oh, that's a great example. Yeah, those are their gums. Always like bunny ears. They're one of the more common teeth. Right behind. Oh, God. See, this is a crow shark tooth. Very unique. And we've been finding so many of these specifically that we designated an entire separate glass to holding them all because of all different shapes and sizes. There's just so many. One of these containers would be filled to the brim, absolutely overloaded. So we couldn't do that. In here, you'll see some faint, little tiny mackerel shark teeth. I'll try to dig one out for you, but I don't have like the best dexterity when it comes to these little teeth. Here's a broken one, but you can still see the little side tooth. That's how I know, at least as an amateur. A bigger one would be, oh yeah, look at that beauty. Look at that. So that's your mackerel shark. And then our tiger sharks are these looking. These are cool looking guys. Nice and symmetrical. Love the symmetry. And what you'll notice about all of these really is they're very, what's the word? Gritty. They look very porous still. They're very raw, straight from the ground. And that is because the difference between those and these, look at these shiny, so nice and shiny. What we've been doing is coating them and just trying to get them preserved. Because not only is it an aesthetic choice, but it's also to keep them all in one piece. And speaking of keeping them all in one piece, we've even brought them into jewelry. Nice little wire wrapping going on here. Some of our best finds, as you can see. Look at that. That's a doozy. This is a salmon tooth. So yeah, I'm hoping to eventually get a belemite on the necklace. That'll require some much more advanced wire wrapping, but so far so good. And the teeth containment. It is definitely a work in progress, but you know, I'll definitely be giving you guys the update once it's all done. The final product. This is the entirety of all of our belemites. Every single one. And as to why they're in all these different containers, this is all just the segments. No pointy parts whatsoever. This little lid is the half parts, like cut in half as such. Really cool cross section there. Segments here. These are the frail, porous ones that are right on the verge of breaking, or the, look, just example, very frail, very small. I didn't want it in the big pot, nothing like that. So we got all the frail ones here, and then all the little tips over here. The super frail ones are in here. Very, very tiny. Didn't want to break them. Can't risk any of that. Then I got the more durable points right here. I got to make a small storage for those because in trying to store all of these, as I showed you, this is my current solution, and it is working out really well. It was just a super tedious, mega tedious thing to do. And before I let you go, I want to show you one of the better belemites. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful.